Hello everyone, welcome to the farm. Today I was tagged to do a video collaboration called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, showcasing our garden this year, or lack thereof, and kind of show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of our 2020 garden. So I was tagged to do this video by Eggers and Bacon. I'll post a link to their channel down below. You can check them out. So there's a couple good things this year. These potatoes are beautiful. I don't know if there's any potatoes actually growing down there, but the tops are real nice. They're super green, they're growing super lush. I've had no issues with pests, and they're just, I'm not claiming any ownership for that. I didn't do anything special. I just kind of planted them on a whim, and they've done amazing. So we aren't really planting a garden this year. That's just due to the fact that we have so many projects on the go that kind of take all of our time and energy and focus, and we figured we didn't want to plant a big garden and then not have the time to devote to it, which if you don't have time and you have too much growing, you get weeds, you get frustrated, you end up having just a big sucky garden. So we decided to just focus on a couple small things. Potatoes are fairly easy to take care of. You throw them in the ground, you hill them once or twice, and they grow. The other good is up at the house. We're up beside the house, and we planted a kitchen garden. We planted it in some galvanized water troughs that we found on Marketplace. They are new, but they're factory seconds. They're not cheap, but we got them for a really good deal. We might be changing this and building one long raised bed here instead, and then we'll use these for animal troughs. So we never drilled any holes in the bottom of these for drainage. We filled the bottom 6 inches with like round rock, put some landscape fabric down, and then we filled it. And I put these pieces of PVC pipe in, and this has actually worked really, really well because I can monitor how much water is in these beds, and I can actually just fill them. I can just stick the hose in there and I can fill it with water. So I just wiggle my fingers in here. I go down about 4 inches and I can feel the moisture already. So that's enough good stuff for today. On to the bad. These tomatoes, because we had such a wet and cool spring, these tomatoes have gotten really bad leaf curl. And I'm kind of hoping that's what the reason is. I'm not really an expert on pests and diseases or anything like that, but the leaves on these tomatoes are curled up super tight, and I'm really hoping that because we've had really hot temperatures the last couple days, I'm really hoping that these things start opening their leaves up. So on to the ugly. We're gonna go back down to the lower garden area and I will show you the ugly. I'm back down here in the garden, and you can see behind me that there's not much of a garden here. The reason being is that all of this is quackgrass. This entire field is quackgrass. This entire garden behind me was filled with quackgrass, and we decided that this year we're going to deal with it. And I actually have a video that's going to be coming out in a week or two explaining how we're planning on tackling this problem. You can see that I have it all tilled up, which is part of the solution. I'm not going to give you any more hints. There's a couple levels. There's a tier up top, there's a bottom tier, and then there's a lower tier down there. We're not going to be planting all of it next year, but in the next few years we'd like to fill this entire space with berries, fruit, perennials, garlic, onions, and herbs, flowers, all sorts of stuff. We actually planted 30 or so blueberries down in this field back in the spring. I put down 3 or 4 inches of mulch, kind of hoping that that would keep the weeds at bay. No. So that is quackgrass, and it is the devil. You can see all these rhizomes that are coming out of this plant. They can stretch, they can grow an inch a day, and they can stretch up to 10 feet. And all the way along that tuber, they're going to be sending up sprouts of plants. This is something that we're going to be tackling. This is probably something that's going to be an ongoing fight for as long as we live here. But If you subscribe to our channel, I will have a video up in the next week or two describing how we're planning on tackling the problem. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly of our garden for this year. I've got 3 channels that I'd like to tag so that they can do the same thing. I will put the channel names down below, as well as I will link to them in the credits at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks, have a good week.